So a lot of people saw this move coming, but despite that, I was still shocked to hear about it when the news first broke out. So the Detroit Pistons traded Sekou Doumbouya and Jahlil Okafor for DeAndre Jordan and four second round picks. So that means that Sekou Doumbouya, along with Okafor, will go to Brooklyn, and DeAndre Jordan, with the picks that the Nets have traded away, are going to go to the Pistons. And to me, the story that really matters to me is Sekou Doumbouya and the potential that the Pistons are going to miss out on. And I'm going to first bring up context as to how Sekou Doumbouya's career has been so far and what this means for both teams. So now you have a player in Sekou Doumbouya that was drafted at the age of 18, 15th pick, and he's 6'8", has a 6'11" wingspan, and his body isn't even done developing, and you already have him at a freakish height and wingspan. And you see a guy like Sekou Doumbouya, and you think to yourself, you may have gotten yourself another potential talent that can rise up in the ranks in the league and make you a contender. There's something about Sekou Doumbouya that has a lot of people thinking that he's going to reach those levels. And a lot of people compare him to Pascal Siakam over the last couple of years, and although that has waned down a little bit due to the circumstances of the Raptors and how they haven't played well in Tampa, there are still people clamoring for Sekou and the potential that he still has. So there's no secret that this dude was a project from the beginning, okay? Teams looked at him as a player to develop for the future rather than a player that they could use up in the now where you're expecting to get some value out of him now, right? So with that in mind, we have to sort of look into the Pistons' perspective and see if this move really made sense for them to make. And this is where I'll get into what I really, really just don't understand, okay? It makes no sense to trade this guy up. At 20 years old, look, I know his rookie year, he had 6 points a game, he averaged 3.1 rebounds a game, and then his second year, it dipped to where he averaged 5 points a game and 2.6 rebounds a game. I know people haven't been impressed with his sophomore year and how it's regressed, quite frankly. And although he did play better towards the end of the season when Detroit had some injury issues, you still have a player that people were expecting more of, and he just didn't deliver. And there's a lot of reasons for this. And one reason could be the minutes that he was given by Dwayne Casey. Perhaps Casey should have given him more minutes so that he could get acclimated to the game and just feel the game more so that at that point he could have more time for himself to get into a rhythm to where he could develop as a player and really become a valuable asset for a team. But the Pistons weren't patient, and I think that's the biggest problem with this trade that I'm seeing. The Pistons seem to be a team that's in a rebuilding phase, and for some reason, they did not think that Sekou was going to be a long-term project that they were going to put into the system. And I just don't understand why. I don't understand why Sekou couldn't be part of this rebuild. I just don't understand it. He could be an excellent 3D guy for now, and he could potentially be someone that could be better than Siakam. And I say this knowing how good Siakam is. I don't know. To me, I haven't watched many Pistons games, but I did have Sekou in my fantasy, and there were games where I was disappointed, and games where, wow, I said to myself, this kid is going to be something special, because there's something to having those intangibles that he has that you have to be patient. You have to, give years to this process. You have to give years for him to develop. Think about it. A player that's coming out of Europe and has roots in Africa and that was picked 15th in the draft. I don't know if you guys remember, but a player that checks all those boxes just put up 50 points 6 weeks ago, and he won the championship. So, look, coincidence, yes, but there's something about this guy that it's hard to describe because there's so much that Sekou can. Man, I wish Sekou was in the Raptors development team. I wish the Raptors had their hands on him because Sekou would. I'm pretty sure Sekou would be a phenomenal player if the Raptors had their hands on him. I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if the Pistons just don't have the people to develop him or they just don't have the time. But to me, it's like you have the time. You're in a rebuild stage. It's not like this is going to take 2 years for you to get into a contending team. You're going to be in this rebuild for a long time, most likely. And trading up what essentially is for nothing because you're getting a player that's washed up like DeAndre Jordan. Detroit is on the look to buy him out anyway. So really what matters in this trade are the 4 second round picks. Like you could have put Trey Lyles in this trade package. You could have put somebody else. Why Sekou? Why did it have to be him? And that's my problem with this. And there's something about this too that apparently this is the only player that wasn't acquired, that wasn't picked, that wasn't handpicked by the GM Troy Weaver from the Pistons, from the Pistons' point of view. And oh my goodness, when you get into that aspect, that's just sad, man. Like, I get it. You want to have the players that you handpicked to be in this team so that you sort of have a feel of the team that you're building around. But man, it's just like, why did, why couldn't you have waited an extra year? You know what I mean? Blake Griffin is not in the Pistons anymore. Okay, Jeremy Grant is really the biggest player that's going to take the starting role, and Sekou Doumbouya now can be given more minutes to potentially thrive and have a very outstanding third year, okay? A lot of rookies go through bumps to where they have a wall, they hit a wall, and then their sophomore year, a lot of times, there's a dip. And obviously, you expect a player like Sekou Doumbouya to not really have a dip when your rookie year isn't really that stellar on paper. But to me, the Brooklyn Nets definitely won that trade. I can't believe they got their hands on Sekou Doumbouya, man. That's insane, man. And plus, Killian Hayes said he wanted to play with Sekou. So to me, that's just, oh man, it could have worked out so well for the Pistons, man. Honestly, a lot of this is really my opinion, and I could be very wrong about this, but I think the Pistons will live to regret this trade, man. And if you guys don't think so, please tell me in the comments why. Please tell me why this was a good move by the Pistons, or at the very least, why you don't think Sekou is going to be that player that could be better than Siakam or could even reach the levels close to Giannis. I don't know. I seen the news. I seen the trade that just happened right now, and I don't understand. I don't understand what the Pistons were thinking. I really don't.